When I first started posting myself on social media, I used Facebook at first. My modeling career began when I was posting pictures on Instagram and they reached out. But before that, actually, I went to a modeling agency in Rosebank. And I said, listen, these are my pictures. I want to become a model. I know I look different. I'm not tall. I don't have all four complete limbs. But look at my pictures. I can pose. My name is Zizipho Soldat. I am 28 years old and I'm a content creator as well as a model. Originally, I'm from the Eastern Cape, but I was actually raised in Soweto. I grew up with my cousins and my late grandmother and my late uncle because my mother was working at the time, most of the time. My grandmother was everything to me. My grandmother was a mother. She was, oh my God. I still feel teary when I talk about her. My grandmother was, there's God, then there's her, then there's my mother, and then everybody else. But my grandmother was like that person that I don't think I can ever find ever in this world. I was born with a condition called familial lower limbs, which is a condition that actually causes your limbs to be missing or not fully formed. It is a rare birth defect. However, it is caused by pills that used to be given to women to actually stop nausea and morning sickness when you're pregnant. But they discontinued giving pregnant women these pills after seeing what it does to kids. Growing up with my condition was not easy. It was not lovely. It was terrible, actually. It was horrible because I grew up around people who were able-bodied. I was the only one who looked like this. And feeding in people that look normal and you look different, it's not even painful. It's horrible. I was bullied throughout my life, from primary school until high school. I was bullied throughout my life because, when you look like me, people can actually have the audacity or a leeway of saying she won't be able to fight for herself, so let me just do this, let me just treat her this way. And I couldn't fight for myself. I've been in special schools all my life, so everyone in there has a condition, a physical condition. But at the same time, what people don't know is that in these schools, there's let's say you are using a wheelchair and I look like this, so you will feel like your condition is better than my condition. So it's easy for you to actually make me feel better about my condition, because at least maybe your condition only consists of a deformed arm only, but everything works perfectly fine. So there was that, okay, I think I'm too disabled to be here. I got diagnosed of major depressive disorder as well as generalized anxiety disorder back when I was in grade 12, I think. I was very suicidal, I guess, in a way. So that led me to actually have anxiety and depression and take pills for it and see a psychologist. For me, I think going to a psychologist is like going to rehab. But unfortunately, for me, it's a lifelong term, because I can never say I'm okay now. There's going to be something that's going to piss me off outside. I'm going to feel bad about myself. I need to go back to my psychologist and say, you know what? I'm not happy about ABC, so I need to constantly go to a shrink. When I first started posting myself on social media, I used Facebook at first, like everybody else. But I saw that was not enough, because it was like Facebook has people that most of the time. And I wanted the world to see this. Because I remember that time there was Tumblr. Every moment deserved a picture. And I used to copy how people used to post, okay, today I'm going to put on a lingerie, I'm going to post like this and like that. And I did that. And it worked for me. It did. I got hooked. And then obviously, brands started coming in, modeling agencies, because they want to be inclusive and stuff. But that happened after I have posted my pictures on Instagram. My modeling career began when I was posting pictures on Instagram and they reached out. But before that, actually, I went to a modeling agency in Rosebank. And I said, listen, these are my pictures. I want to become a model. I know I look different. I'm not tall. I don't have all four complete limbs. But look at my pictures. I can pose. I got the swag. Put me on. And they found that very brave of me. They were like, oh my God, this is brave. Who is she? And she looks cool. We need her. We need to sign her. And they signed me. Of course, I'm still with them up to today. But then I also got signed with another modeling agency that is in the US and the UK, I think, yeah. through Instagram. Of course, they saw me on Instagram and then they hollered, and I was like, okay, cool, we can work together. But here in South Africa, it doesn't work like that. They were not inclusive at all. So I was like, let me go out there. I still do if I feel like I need more work and maybe they a bit slacking, or I need more work, like I need to be exposed as a model. I still do. Like, I'm very brave. I would go to an agency and say, listen, this is my work. I've done this so far. Put me on. The one time I felt very empowered and proud of myself during my modeling career was when I actually did a photo shoot for a brand that is adaptive and inclusive for people with disabilities in South Africa. The first brand to ever do it, which was this year, of course. And for me, that was like I have reached where I wanted to reach, because I've always wanted to raise awareness, and I didn't just want to wear clothes that everyone can fit into, but not everyone, because we still have people with disabilities who can't be able to put on a simple jean. But if there's a brand that says, listen, we know how to actually make something for you that you can be able to use, so you to be able to actually make putting on clothes very easy. And for me, being part of that, it was everything for me. I was like, I want my people to actually be included in this. For me, I was happy with that. I was like content. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm from a very strict family, and to them, it's you gotta go to school, and you gotta graduate, you gotta go and work, and get married and be a wife and get kids and continue going to church and just be a good, respected woman. So I was the opposite of that. I'm still the opposite of that. I'm like, what? I want to be a model. I want to be out there. I want to be popping. There is no way I can just sit down and be like this. Of course, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to tertiary. I did. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to get a good job. I'm going to get married. But can I also be sexy in the meantime? Can I be sexy throughout this thing? Can I just not do this thing looking normal? Okay. I mean, I'm not saying normal is bad, but can I just not be basic? I want to stand out. I'm not normal already. So can I just stand out? Can I just give people what to look at? Because already they're looking at me. Whether I can be normal, if I can decide to be basic right now, they're going to look at me regardless. So let me just give them something to talk about. I would describe myself as a disability advocate. I think everything that has to do with people living with disabilities touches me. And I feel like we don't get the recognition that we have to get like other people. I feel like we are like shoved in a corner. They only bring us out when it suits them. They don't care about us. They think we are those people who stand in the street corner and beg. Not all of us do that, okay? We got educated people out here. We got fabulous people out here doing big things, amazing stuff. And all they know is only include us when it's sports related, and that's it. Or when someone needs help, they need donation for a wheelchair. Oh my God, let's put them on. That's not enough. I feel like we have needs that we still need to address that are not even addressed yet, because no one is brave enough to go out there and say, listen, we are lacking ABC. Reach out, help us do ABC for us. So I'm all for people that look like me, because no one is actually doing it the right way. Everyone wants to put us in the corner. Only remember us when it's suitable. So I think we need people who look like me to say something, to do something. They need to involve us in everything that they do, in terms of fashion as well as the media industry. Also, we have a right to say we need ramps in every building, because each and every building that I go to and they say we don't have ramps or we don't have elevators, I'm like, everyone has to use stairs, and I'm like, what if I'm on a wheelchair? What's going to happen? I feel like they're not being considerate when it comes to that. So the infrastructure also has to do something in terms of that. A normal day in my life looks like me waking up very late, because I wake up very late. Going on Instagram, the first things first, that's what we do as people. Go on social media. You don't even check if your arm is still working or if you're able to walk. Just go on social media. That's me. I'm one of the culprits. Go on social media, and then obviously content. But before that, I think I got to the gym. Because I like going to the gym. There's like very cute people who go to the gym, so why not? A little easy on the eye. I'm kidding. I go to the gym, but then after that, obviously, there has to be content made. And then if I actually have like castings to go to, then I have to go and attend those castings or auditions, or maybe I have to go to work because I actually do have a 9 to 5, by the way, as an admin person. So yeah, that's what a normal day for me looks like. Dating, having a disability, is very hard, especially when you're in my age group, because people are all about the physical appearance. So the minute you look different physically, it's a problem for them because they feel like they can't handle that, or it's their first time doing it. So for them, it's like, how do I do this? What are people gonna say? This is my first time. Mind you, we're from communities that have different explanations or understanding about disability. So if I show up with her and she looks like this, they're gonna say that I am showing up with someone who was bewitched, or someone who has a bad omen, something like that. So, or someone who's not gonna be able to take care of my kids in future if I decide to marry her. So if you're dating with a disability at the same time, you need to have someone who's very open-minded, because it's not easy. These people out here are not that open-minded. They're still questioning, oh my God, we're still trying to understand this. We're still trying to come to terms with this. So for me, I've had moments where, I've questioned whether am I worthy to be loved or not. But at the same time, it's like, men look at me and they say, oh my God, she's pretty, we love her body, we love how she thinks, she's very intelligent and she's very hardworking. But because she looks like this, I don't know if I can be able to show up with her in the world. I don't know if that's going to be enough for me. Being a woman is hard work. It is hard work, because I feel like we have many responsibilities. We play so many roles and we don't even get a single thank you. We would like a recognition, please. Being a woman for me is very hard. I feel like I haven't even went all the stages of being a woman, but just being a woman is hard. You have to have kids, you have to raise them yourself, you have to get a job, and society is gonna bash you based on your looks. You have to look a certain way, and men are also gonna have something negative to say if you don't have a figure, if you don't have a big behind. I do, sorry, but I was just saying. But it's really hard. We are expected to look a certain way every time, and it's not possible. How can you have I don't know, like an hourglass shape if you just had a baby? You have to focus on that. You have to forget about, looking pretty and the vanity and whatever, and focus on raising your kids. You're expected to be a superwoman, a superhuman all the time, and it's not possible. And also, I think being a woman with a disability, that's something else. That's like on top of what I've just mentioned. It's really, really hard. Imagine being pregnant with a disability and not having finances or enough support. On top of that, you have to raise this kid, and you don't have the necessary things to raise this kid. You don't even know how to. A kid requires you to have 2 hands. It's really hard. In the Black community, right? When you're a woman, there are certain responsibilities that you are assigned to, and duties, especially if you are married. You have to cook for your husband, you have to clean for your husband, you have to take care of the kids and your husband, or your boyfriend, and if that's the case. But once you're living with a disability, that is hard, and it makes the next person to question you and question your abilities. Is she going to be able to take care of me? Is she going to be able to perform all these white duties? And I feel like that is still painful to me even today. It is painful, but at the same time, it's like, if I have the right finances, no one's going to tell me anything. I will rely on a helper to help you, because I can't help you. But for other people, I feel like, yes, it is difficult, and it's going to make them not even to be able to get married because they can't perform ABC. That's what makes other men say, I'm going to take 2 wives because you can't do ABC for me. So you will just sit down and I will take the other wife to be able to do this, which I think is unfair. It's really unfair. How must I feel when you say that? So I have never questioned my womanhood. When it comes to my disability, I know what I cannot do, but at the same time, it's like, if I cannot do it, I rely on technology, and I rely on a help from the outside, which means I have to work extra harder to be able to pay for these things. That's why I go very hard, because I know that I cannot do ABC, so let me go and get help outside. And help comes at a cost. So I need to work. I think I would ask someone who is in the same situation as me physically if they want to be alive. Like, do you want to be alive? That's what I asked myself. Do you want to be alive? If you want to be alive, you gotta accept yourself, because you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and change and look a certain way. You're not gonna wake up tomorrow with the same, with another hand or with another leg or being able to walk. You're not gonna have that miracle. Not now. Maybe, I don't know, in future, if, yeah, but not now. So you just have to get on with the program. You just have to roll with the punches, because if you say you want to be alive, then accept yourself. It is hard, to be honest. It's really hard. I don't like motivational talks, people who look like me and they go out there and say, you gotta love yourself. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying I know how it feels like when you tell someone, you gotta love yourself. It takes hard work. So you just gotta ask yourself, do you want to be alive? If you want to be alive, then unfortunately you have to cry every day and do it. So that days where it gets hard, there are days where it's actually, like, most of the time, actually, right now, if I don't look pretty, that's what stresses me. That's the only thing. Not having an arm does not stress me. If I can't do ABC, I need to think of a way to do it or to get it. But I can't be stressed I can't be stressed because I don't have an arm.
And you must not make me stress about that too, because I'm over that. I'm really over that. Next, please.
I think people should be kind. They should be understanding. They should sensitize themselves in terms of getting knowledge when it comes to disability, because there's, like, different people in this world, and you can't just ignore the other people coming from other groups and stuff. You need to actually have knowledge about it, but at the same time, I urge people to just be kind, to just understand that we did not choose to be this way, just as you did not choose to be this way. We were all made for a special, greater purpose. So I feel like once you understand that, we can all be okay, I guess. We can all get along with each other. And this thing of cyberbullying, because you're different, it's not so good. How do you sleep at night knowing that you have hurt someone, made nasty comments because of how they look like? At least if I was able to say, okay, I need to have one hand, I need to have one leg, then you can say all of these things, but I did not choose to be this way. Then you do not have any right to come in here and tell me that you look like this, while you have also your own insecurities and your own faults. But I feel like we must stop the cyberbullying when it comes to people with disabilities. Treat everybody with respect and accept people for what they are, and just live in a very nice ass place, I guess. I want to be on a billboard. I want to be out there. Like how big Marilyn Monroe was? That's my vision, okay? I want to be that big. I want to be like an icon. I'm kidding. I do actually. I really do. I want to be out there. I don't know any person with a disability that has reached that far, that is that big. There are people with disabilities who have, achieved great things, but I want to be that star, I want people to say, we know her, she has achieved ABC. I want people to say, I am this today because I saw someone who looked like me and did it, and I said that I can do it too because I saw her. My aspirations involve having my own businesses, of course. I'm starting a makeup line soon. That's in the works. I wanna release a book. I wanna continue making movies. I've directed movies before. I've won an award for directing a visual reality movie before. I wanna reach greater heights. I wanna reach where no one has ever reached, with disability, of course. I just wanna be out there and just shock people and make people's tongues wag, because that's what I do on the daily. But I just want to be great, the greatest to ever do it. That's just me, yeah.